Good evening. The council will please come to order. Would everyone please rise? We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Mark Betancourt.
Almighty God, we ask for your blessings upon the members of this council as we assemble here in this chamber to conduct the ongoing business of our city. With your guidance, we will strive to ensure that all our decisions are for the common good, and your inspiration will instill respect, compassion, and thoughtfulness in all our deliberations. Give us the strength and wisdom to lead by example as the people's representatives, and that peace and harmony will mark all our proceedings, and keep us faithful to the trust placed in us by the citizens of your community. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Alderwoman Sheila Hayes, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could please remain standing for a moment of silence for Mr. Erickson, who really spearheaded the value of what the Southeastern Council of Governments was and became, and how it worked from a regional standpoint in planning perspectives for all cities and towns. He recently passed away. He was a resident of the city of Norwich, and I would ask that we all remember him fondly, please. Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, certainly.
I'd like to just acknowledge Sergeant Paul Fideli was laid to rest on Saturday.
Thank you.
He was a retired member of our police department. He was my sergeant on midnights. He was Bill's sergeant on midnights, and he was a credit to the department and an asset to the city. And I was very sorry to hear of his passing.
Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that very much. Okay, thank you.
Citizen comment general, 30 minutes.
Thank you. I declare citizen comment general open at this time. If anyone wants to address the city on non-agenda items, please do so at this time. Please approach the microphone, name and address, please. Thank you very much. Mrs. Fishbone? Yep, come on, Beryl.
Good evening. Beryl Fishbone, 19 Bliss Place, Norwich. This morning, I was looking at the USA Today. This is the paper from October 20th, 2025, available now currently on newsstands. And they have a section called 50 States. And when I look down at the 50 states, I naturally look towards Connecticut. Stuff happens. I'm always, what else is somebody else doing? And in Connecticut, it reads, Yantic, while the Yantic Fire Engine Company is 178 years old, the fire department's future is looking good. In the past 6 months, 11 new members have joined the volunteer fire department. The continuing support is awesome to see, said Chief Robert Allen. That's all. Nothing exciting, nothing earth-shattering there. We kind of knew that because we read it in our own bulletin and we read it in the day. But we also had it in the Hartford Courant in case anybody wants to know. But that's the kind of positive things that the city needs to be keeping track of. Not because it's a bad thing, but because it's a good thing. What I would like to see is, whether it's on social media or whether it's a showcase or even just a bulletin board where we take these written articles, specifically the ones that are written in other papers, not our local papers, other papers, papers from far away, where somebody tells us, oh, hey, I read about Norwich in this article or that article, or in this paper or that paper. And I'd like to see where the citizens get to have an opportunity to see that. I think it would help us feel better about ourselves as residents. That yes, we do positive things. yes, this is a positive community, regardless of the fact that our buildings may be falling down, and we don't have as many jobs as we'd like, and our taxes are too high, and the list goes on. But this would give us something positive to point towards. And it's nice to know that you're being noticed by other communities, that they're looking up to you. They're looking up and they're thinking, wow, if that little community can do it, maybe we can. Just as we look at other communities and go, well, they can do it, so can we. And maybe if we all work towards that goal of doing something, things might change, and we might actually get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just for the record, the city manager is not here due to illness. Let that be recorded, please. Okay, anyone else want to address this city at this time? Yes, Ms. Ben, please.
Coast is clear. I'm wondering if I need a microphone with my loudspeaker voice. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. All right, good. You know, I lived in Boston, raised my family, community activist, even ran for the Boston City Council twice. I thought today when I was just before coming over here from the Otis Library, of the old, used to hear, I don't know where it came from, I'm gonna have to look it up online, Mayor Pete. Band in Boston. Well, you know,
Excuse me, Ben, could you please
35 years
speak to the microphone?
that I
Thank you.
lived and worked in Boston. Boston Ben never was banned for anything. So what am I getting at?
Name and address.
I'll tell you what I'm getting at.
Ben, your name and address too, please.
Last Friday, the director of the Rose City Senior Center.
Ben, please, we need your name and address. I know you're on the west side and
I'm
everything.
not going to give
but-
my address because I know that's a violation of people's rights. I don't know. Norwich got some catching up to do.
We need your address, Ben.
Can I finish what I have to say, or you want to close me down, Mayor?
That's not what I want at all.
Well, you're not going to get a
I
puppet.
want to give you your
You're going to
opportunity.
get a puppet or a slave, like they treat me at the Rose City Senior Center. They're treating me like a slave because I'm just giving high school students information about the history of Norwich, the famous people that came here, presidents like President George Washington, President Abraham Lincoln, President and General Ulysses S. Grant, Harry S. Truman, President Bill Clinton. And I rest my case. Thank you.
Ben, could I see you at the end of the meeting and we'll talk, please? I want to hear more about. Thank you. Please, your name, sir, address.
I am not obligated to give you my name and address by the power of the United States Constitution.
Not
And
here to
that-
argue with you.
No.
Argue with you.
Well, then don't start listening. You're not good at
No,
listening.
your name and address.
Unless you work for the city.
Yeah, unless I work for the city. And I am refusing under the rights of the United States Constitution, and that is final. I'm not done with you.
You are done.
No, I'm not. No, I am not. You don't give me orders. You understand that? You fucking
Proceed.
fanatic. Yeah, I know. I think I'm trying to rehabilitate you here. Two very dear people. As of last Friday,
Are you David or Dan? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you got Alzheimer's?
We all have senior moments. We get older.
Yours is not an excuse with me. As I was saying, as I was getting parts for my car last Friday, a message comes to my phone. It said, just so you know, we sold our house and we moved to Nevada. Two very dear people that I've been friends with for more than 20 years have left the ghetto because of your ridiculous taxes. $9,000? I think there's a problem. And then your damn city's trying to soak me for an additional $3,000? Let me give you a reality check. This is not Las Vegas. This is not Boston. This is not New York City. This is the ghetto. Period. And it is you and every single one of you that are going to take the weight for this. Your incompetence is driving everybody out of here. And then you can't look in the mirror to figure out why. You're all to blame for what's happening in the ghetto. And let's see how proud you are when you're standing in the street of an empty ghost town. Because that's where this place is headed. They were very dear people to me until you people pulled your little jack-in-the-box stunt. $9,000? No, absolutely not. This has to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is to get rid of every single one of you. Out the door, no questions asked. And don't you even think that I forgot about July 8th. I still have that. Anything happens to me, you watch. Be quiet, bootlegger.
I'm going to say this once. If you can't speak politely, calmly, don't bother getting up. Show that you're an adult.
But,
Now,
Mayor,
yes,
Can-
I'm sorry, I didn't see
can
your
I,
hand.
I'd like to make a motion that we close citizen comment period, since it is not being productive. Okay, it obvious, and we have citizen comment period under resolutions.
Sure we can.
You can't do that. This is a free country, we have the right to speak. That's right.
For citizen comment period
Excuse
under
me.
resolution.
A motion was made by a duly elected alderwoman. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
The motion has been seconded. Is there discussion on the motion? Again, is there discussion on the motion? Alderman Nash.
We have the right to speak.
Yeah, so do I. So give me my chance. Give me my chance. I don't necessarily agree with suspending this particular round, but I will say that it has reached a point where there's no civil discourse. This is just anger, cussing, complaining, yelling, calling us names. Listen, I've been a cop a long time. I've been called a lot of names, okay? So that's not the issue. But the issue is, this is supposed to be us conducting the city's business. And the problem is that people want to shout down other people, yet there's people standing up there calling us the bullies and us the tyrants and us corrupted. Maybe you should look at the definition of bully and think about who it actually entails. Yeah, I don't think so. See, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Yep. So anyway, at this point,
You have the rights to redress your grievances to the government. It's in the Constitution of the United States of America.
Please, no more outbursts. There's a motion pending.
but I'm the bully.
No, no, you're not. Is there further comment? Seeing none, a roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. The motion passes 7-0. As of this time, the citizen comment on resolutions, non-agenda items is closed.
Go ahead and knock on doors now, tomorrow. Go ahead. Wave the signs. Sir, we have the right to redress your grievances. How am I gonna do that? How? Tell me how.
Outbursts.
Or what?
Officer, remove him.
Excuse me. Am I breaking the law? Okay, well, stay away from
It's called disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace.
The hell it is. Breaking a law.
Yes.
No, am I breaking a law right now? Am I?
I'm gonna make a motion to
Please
adjourn.
stay away from me.
That may be the next thing. Make it.
Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
This
Unless I
is
break the law,
outrageous.
stay away from me.
You want the,
Unless I break a law.
okay.
Not the
Excuse me, Mayor?
a law.
Wait,
Mayor?
hold on. Let
Yes.
Mark go talk to.
Oh, go ahead,
No,
Mark.
go ahead. Go ahead.
We're going to move on with the agenda. Oh, I figured that.
City Manager's report?
Good evening. Be reading this on behalf of City Manager John Salamone. During this reporting period, I represented the City of Norwich at the following meetings and events: the Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments Waterfront Design Committee City Coordination Meeting, Norwich Community Development Corporation, and Connecticut Investment Fund meeting. The Assessor's Office. Business personal property declarations for 2025 have been mailed to all businesses. Completed declarations are due by November 3rd, 2025. Applications for 100% permanent and total disabled veterans exemptions have also been mailed. Completed applications must be submitted by December 31st, 2025. Human Services and Senior Programming. Norwich Human Services is partnering with Jewish Family Services to pilot several programs addressing food insecurity. Residents seeking information about available JFS resources may contact Adult and Family Services or the Senior Center. The Rose City Senior Center will host a Preventing Elder Financial Exploitation session in collaboration with Liberty Bank on November 6th, 2025. Additionally, the Senior Center will hold an informal meet and greet with the City Council candidates on October 23rd, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. The event is privately sponsored but open to the public. Youth and Family and Recreation Department. The Morning Care Pilot Program providing early child care for students in grades K through 5 continues to operate successfully with over 25 children attending daily. Recently, the department hosted a Halloween-themed bingo night and the annual trunk or treat event, offering safe and enjoyable community activities for hundreds of Norwich residents. Fall programming is underway, and the department continues to collaborate with Norwich Public Schools to distribute program booklets directly to students via their school backpacks. Upcoming events: the Norwich Halloween Strut on Saturday, October 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. in front of City Hall along Broadway. Participants are encouraged to attend in costume and enjoy the festivities and food trucks. A City of Norwich tax sale will be scheduled for December 9th, 2025. The sale will be conducted by Attorney Adam Cohen of Pullman and Comley. A current list of properties and general tax sale information can be found at cttaxsales.com, including details on bidding requirements, payment timelines, and procedures regarding excess proceeds.
Thank you, Josh. Are there questions at this time of the comptroller in place of the city manager? Alderwoman Hayes?
So I'm not sure if you're aware, Josh, that the Senior Center informational meet and greet, from what we were informed, has been canceled.
Okay.
That was due to lack of communication on the parties that were requested to share whether they would attend or not. The Women's City Club at that point then decided to pull their sponsorship.
I'll make a correction to that, if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead. I know you're a member.
The
of
members
the
that were
Women's.
never contacted. So the only way I knew about it is it was posted in the newsletter that we received October 6th. That's the only communication that was given personally to me. So you can't say we can't respond to something that you don't receive a personal communication to.
I can only share with you that when I met with 4 members of the Women's City Club on a different matter, it happened to be the maintenance of the fountain at the foundation for where all the monuments are for our veterans, I was asked by the city manager to see if they would sponsor the event. They agreed to ask all their members. They told me they reached out to all their members. Now, I don't know who the membership was, but they then got back to me the next day to say that they agreed to do so. That's the only thing that I know. I didn't set this up. It was done at the senior center, but John wanted a separate sponsor, not the city. That's the basic background.
For the record, I am a member of that organization.
I
did
didn't
not
know that
receive-
myself.
I did not receive notification.
I don't know how it was done. I just
I'm
know
just-
they told me they reached out. I'm sorry if
No,
you
I'm
weren't
just saying for the record.
notified.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Singh, you had your hand up?
Yes, thank you very much. So I actually want to highlight, I attended a food drive by United Way at Three Rivers. And I think that's a good opportunity for a community like us who are battling with the food insecurity. Once a month, no questions asked, you can drive your car and they'll put 3 different packages in your car. So you have enough food to survive, I will say that. But I'm very grateful these kind of efforts are happening. I also attended one meeting called by them at St. Vincent de Paul, which was in regards to food insecurity, and all the food pantries were invited because we also have to kind of make sure all the pantries have some coordination with each other so our resources can go further while there are so many cuts coming from federal government as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there other questions at this time? I would also let everyone know that the traditional Halloween events hosted by Yantic Volunteer Fire Department, East Great Plains, and Taffville are going to take place again. Between the 3 of them, they service well several thousand people, parents and children. So let the people know about that opportunity as well. Thank you. If there's no other questions, let us move forward, please.
Citizen comment on resolutions on agenda items only.
Thank you. I declare citizen comment on the resolutions on the agenda to be open. If you wish to speak to any of the resolutions on the agenda, please ask to be acknowledged, and I will do so. Again, you're speaking about the resolutions before us. This is not anything else. Anyone wish to address the council? Yes, Mr. Brown.
You got it. I'll do that just for you. Kevin Brown, from this land, long before there's ever even a constitution that made it the United States of America. So there's an address for that. My home address is 128 Podunk Road in Guilford. My work address, the reason that I'm here this evening, is 66 Franklin for the Norwich Community Development Corporation.
Thank you.
I rise in support of agenda item number 6, relative to City Manager Salomon being able to enter into and to execute a Fourth Amendment to the stadium lease agreement. You know, there are a lot of controversial issues, I think, but recreation for families in the city of Norwich probably, I would hope, is not one of them. And the ability to sustain baseball at the stadium for a Fourth Amendment extension of that lease for the Sea Unicorns to play again, I think registers on the radar of not controversial. The lease payment will be greater than it was last year. The team is signed in to pay the same utility arrangement that they've paid in previous years, and the ownership group has signed on to put $50,000 into capital expenditures for operations and maintenance of the stadium in this upcoming season. I think those are all solid reasons that you should find this to be the kind of thing that you would support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Again, anyone else like to address the council on the resolutions? Yes, sir.
Good evening. Bobby Allen, Chief of the Yannick Fire Engine Company, 151 Yannick Road. I'm just here to ask support from the council on the allocation of money from, where is it from, Josh? From the Herstool Fund to our gas conversion and tank removal. That's what I'm looking for support there. And on some more positive note, we've got 2 more members who just put their applications in tonight, just so.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Again, anyone else like to address the council on resolutions before us? Please, Mrs. Philbrick.
My name is Joanne Philbrick, and I live at 10 Elm Avenue. And I want to tell you that I stand here tonight as an elderly person. What is happening here, I view as a form of elder and financial abuse. So there. I'm here to speak in opposition to Resolution number 5 and Resolution number 6. I find it ironic that the city manager isn't here again. You took the Chelsea Groton Bank and you shoved it down our throats without a vote from the people. Now you have an $800,000 red herring that you don't have the money to ensure he do anything else, so you're going to look for a tenant for a year's lease. My guess is that you've already finagled a backroom deal and you already have a tenant for a year. How are we supposed to trust you? My suggestion to you would be to have a special referendum. Put two things on the referendum: the police station and Dodge Stadium. And when the people give you a voice, an edict, follow it. Because otherwise, this country has gone to hell in a handbasket. To deny the people the right to speak. You didn't make Boston Ben give his name and address. I've seen you do it before, Peter. Be consistent.
I asked for his repeatedly. I know he lives on the west side.
So that's not, the point is that something is wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for this election to be over. Because there are going to be changes, and some of them are going to be not what we had hoped for. Nobody wants to listen to me. I understand that. I stand strong in my opinions. I stand strong in my beliefs. I'm just as entitled as anybody else to have them. But when people tell me I'm too old, too white, a drug addict, you know what I say to you? Go to hell. Because when you start throwing slings like that, those are personal attacks on me, and I will stand to defend myself. So here we go. We have one more meeting before the election, and hopefully we'll be able to clean up some of these other things. But I say no to Chelsea Groton, and I say no to Dodge Stadium without a vote of the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
My name is Pietro Rocchi Camardella. I've been living here for 40 years, plus 40 years, 79 Lambert Drive. I do not agree with this. You are a bully, Mr. Mayor. You, and especially you. Especially you. Yes. You, the only reason why you bought the Chelsea Groton station. Yeah, shake your heads. Go ahead. Be nice. Don't worry. God knows your heart. You see, we don't know, but God knows your heart. You're wicked. You spent $800,000 without the will of the people being asked for. Now it didn't work because you knew you couldn't put it on a ballot. So now we're going to spend more money without the will of the people. Who the heck do you represent? Ain't me. Ain't Joanne Philbrick. Ain't many other people. You just dictate. You make the process the punishment. We have to jump. We have to bow. We have to kiss the rings. Are you serious? This is a free country. I'm against the renting, the leasing, and Mr. Solomon making deals, not on behalf of we the people, about you. This will stop one way or the other. You either get voted out. By the way, I want to see you knocking on doors. You, Bill, whatever your name is, and you, Big Charles, you're not running. Thank God for that. Yeah, we'll see you in court. Don't worry. You got 2 more years. Yeah. Show that middle finger Shay, go ahead, show it again. Show it again.
Would you
just
please
did it.
address the resolutions?
Against the resolution because you must ask our permission. You don't decide on your own and then send Mr. Solomon on a buying spree. Like Ms. Philbrick said, it should be on a referendum, period.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else want to address any of the resolutions before us, please? Yes, sir.
Good evening. Larry Rice, 41 Will Road, Norwich. I'll be short. In the day paper dated October 14th, Dodge Stadium debt to Norwich exceeds $350,000. I'm just going to ask all of you up here, can you please do something about this so our debt is zero? I love baseball. I go up there a couple of times a year, but you know the kind of condition that Norwich is in, and we can't afford this. This is ridiculous, this kind of money, to keep a baseball stadium open for 2 months. So that's all I got to say on the resolution. I am going to say one thing. What you seven just did tonight is a disgrace. You took my right away to talk because of the same 3 people who come here every 2 weeks and do the same thing, okay? And you should have talked about this for a couple of minutes instead of just jumping to this. If you can't take it, don't sit up there, okay? That's what you're here for. All of you were wrong. All 7 of you were wrong tonight for doing what you did because you took my right away to talk about what I wanted to talk about. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. The time allotted for this is half an hour. Is there anyone left that did not have that moment? Mr. Bowie. Oh, no, that's not right.
Good evening, Rodney Bowie, 62 Roosevelt Avenue. I appreciate you folks coming here every 2 weeks. I'm speaking against the item number 5. I didn't appreciate you buying the bank building. I don't appreciate the idea of having a tenant in one of the city properties. Now, I've been in this city now for a long time, 62 years. And I've seen the properties in the city be fogged with debt. I tried to sell a property this past week. The main reason people didn't want it was because of the $9,000 owed on the property. Now, this bank building I've used for many, many years. I keep my bank stuff in there. But the stadium has been misrun for a long time. I like baseball. I'm not a baseball player. In fact, I'm not that interested in baseball. When the Red Sox come out in the springtime, they sound pretty good. When they get a little sweat on them, they fade. That's about all I know about baseball. But we need more of this kind of thing. My dad used to play baseball when he was a young man. I'm not good at baseball at all. I make a better coach than I do a baseball manager. But we don't need more place like this. Quite frankly, I find it hard to find people doing anything recreational in this town. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Final call. Anyone want to address the council at this time on the resolutions? Anyone on the resolutions? Anyone on the resolutions? Declare it closed. Business.
Resolution number 1, relative to participation in cost-sharing program with the City of Norwich to construct concrete sidewalks and to set a public hearing for November 3rd, 2025.
Thank you. A motion to bring this to the floor, please. Alderwoman Gould, a second, please. Alderwoman Hayes, thank you both. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. Thank you. The resolution adopted 7-0.
Number 2, relative to reallocating funds from capital projects for the conversion from oil to gas heating and the removal of a heating oil underground storage tank at the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department Station.
Thank you. A motion, please, to the floor. Alderman Nash, second, Alderwoman Gould. Is there discussion? Alderwoman Hayes, please.
Yes. So I'd like to ask the city controller, Josh, some questions. We had a conversation earlier, but I'd like to go through it. So could you take us through the timeline as to when the initial capital budget was approved for this, for the underground storage tank and conversion to oil and, from oil to gas?
Yes, so in January 2023, the Yannick Fire Department requested, made a budget request for the following fiscal year to remove the underground storage tank and convert the station from oil to gas. They had a figure of $75,000 in that request. April 2023, it was included in the manager's proposed budget at $45,000, and that appropriation was approved in June 12th, 2023, with the fiscal year 23-24 adopted budget. In October, November 2024, the purchasing agent asked for specs from Yannick Chief Hers. In June 2025, leading up to that, the department realized that the $45,000 was not going to be enough for to get this project done. So they requested a reallocation, and the council approved a budget reallocation resolution to increase the budget by $8,701.32, which came from other Yantic capital projects. In August 2025, the purchasing agent received the specs from Chief Allen. September 15th, 2025, we received a quote from Gordian, which is a Capital Region Council of Governments contracted vendor for construction, for $72,359.36 for this project, and which leads us to today, where the council is considering a resolution to increase the project by $25,000 to get this project done.
All right, so it was allocated in the 2023-24 budget. The specs were asked for in November of 2024. Then there was, so was an RFP issued? How did we get to the 40, from the initial request of 40, initial allocation approved of 45,000 to adding the 8,701.32? So was there a RFP issued that brought in responses to the RFP?
No, so Gordian is a contract that the city can use for construction projects, and the quote that we received was $72,359.36 for this project. But it was apparent, Niantic originally requested $75,000 back in 2023, and as it was getting closer to the station making this, following through with this project, it was apparent that that wasn't, $45,000 was not going to be enough money.
No, I understand that. We went from 45,000 to adding 8,701.32. Where did that number come from? How did we get it?
That was just basically taking the Yantic's capital projects that were completed and under budget and shifting the funds from there.
Reallocating money.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm trying to, I was not here this whole time that this occurred. Okay, so we get to the quote of 72,359.36, which is what is being requested now. My question to you is, was this, since this happened in September, was this request run by, or was Chief Wilson involved in reviewing or having any input? Did you?
No, Chief
That's-
Wilson didn't have any input in this. It was a project that had been approved by the city council, and now seeing that the funding that was allocated for it wasn't enough to get it done, I presented this as an option to.
Right, I understand that, but what I'm saying is it's a reallocation from equipment that was approved in June of this year. And now they're asking for it to be reallocated to another project. It was approved in a different account.
So since the 2025-26 budget was approved, Yantic got pricing on the hydraulic rescue tools, and it came in under the 2025-26 capital budget allocation. So that, in my mind, was a source of possible funding to close out this project.
Okay, I understand that. So the question was, and you did answer it, Chief Wilson was not consulted as to whether the reallocation of the money that was left over, whether this would be a good reauthorization to spend the money this way, from equipment to the oil and gas.
No, he was not.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there further questions at this time? Alderman Bettencourt.
Not a question so much, but just regarding what happened here, I don't see why Chief Wilson would have anything to do with this, so we'll skip on from there. But the fact of the matter is, this is a removal of an oil tank, and it's certainly beneficial to that property. The only issue I've got is that we don't own the building, so it's not our building, and I hesitate in these circumstances to do this kind of work. But with that said, they do provide a service, and there is a cost associated with that service in the sense that we got to maintain their building. So, and this kind of work is certainly beneficial. Certainly since, we don't want anything happening with that old oil tank or anything that's right on the river, so, and that's it.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Alderman Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question for Josh, for the process sake, right? If you don't spend the money on certain project, why we don't have a system in place that it just come back to us and we can decide in the next budget cycle where things go? Is it charter driven? Is it rule driven? That we can allow to shuffle around money?
It's, so any unused capital project funds need to be reallocated towards another capital project. So as we see them come up, I'll bring it up to John and then bring it to you.
But do you think it's wise to just bring it in the middle of the year instead of waiting so we can have more thought process at the end on how to deal with the money that we didn't spend on capital project? I'm just trying to learn, to be very honest with you.
I see your point there, but this is a project that was approved in a previous capital budget process, and costs have risen over the years for various things, and in order to get this one done, which will save about $1,000 a year in fuel, and I don't know how much of a danger having an underground storage tank is, but there is some environmental risk there. So it's seems like a worthy project if the council wants to approve it that way.
The other important thing I want to share is because in 2023, when request was made, 75,000 was the request that was made. Like how these numbers come up, because we are ending up with 75,000 after 2 years.
Yeah, so their estimate was a good estimate back then, but when John and I were putting together the capital budget, you're trying to get
squeeze everything.
A lot of requests into a smaller bucket, so it was funded at a lower amount.
So here's the thing, I don't hate conversion project. I've done many conversions for a lot of different houses I've sold in the city, and it does have value to it because when you sell it, people like it. But I agree with Mark as well, because these are the city resources going into non-city location for something which is not related to fire, services directly, right? Also, I did calculation. By spending $75,000, they're only gonna be able to save $1,000 a year. And what city gonna get out of it? Of course, city gonna get NPU revenue out of it, which was $5,000 a year, but the city portion is 10%, which is $500 a year for city. So we'll cover up our money in 150 years. And even from their standpoint, if they invest $75,000 for this conversion, they will ended up getting the money back in 75 years, even if they would have spent it their money, right? What I'm trying to see is why there's no other platform to help, because that $75,000, if we put in money market account, which will give us at least 4% return, that's almost $3,000. We can give them $1,000 saving every year, and the city would be making 4 times more money. So I think we need to maybe look into processes, and of course, you are the number guy, how we can make things better, overall, and find maybe a different platform to help, to provide some of the things that other buildings need in our city. But that's like 2% return on investment right now, even if I add 1,000 and 500. And that's just not really a good investment from investment standpoint, right? But I know the lines had already been run, so NPU has already invested some resources into running the lines. And the storage tank, which is the underground storage tank, is at end of the life. So I think, and there already been money allocated, but now they need 18,000 more, if I'm correct, to complete the project. So if they need 18,000, why we are giving 25,000? I just want to make sure we're making sensible decisions. If you think that's wise, that's different story, but if they need 18,000, why we're putting 25,000 for it? Because the rest of the $7,000 or whatever is left could be used next year for something else as well.
Yeah, if there's any other, I mean, with construction projects, you often put some sort of a contingency in there in case anything else crops up after you start digging in the ground or tearing into walls or whatever, the construction project is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further question, concern? President Pro Tem, please.
Mine will be much shorter. I'm not willing to fund projects for a department that is threatening to sue the city again, this time over the unified command policy that the fire chief wrote and that the city manager authorized. I just don't see how that makes sense for us. From a business standpoint, from an economic standpoint, but really from an ethical and common sense standpoint. That's like me being in a court case between myself and my neighbor over the boundary, and then him asking me to pay to put a new roof on his house. I just won't do it. And for the same reason as that metaphor, I can't say yes to this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion at this time? Alderwoman Gould.
So number one, I want to point out that we, by charter, need to spend this money in this fiscal year. Am I not correct, Josh? Don't we set aside a certain amount of dollars that we have to spend on capital projects?
The appropriations don't lapse. If we don't spend them for this purpose, they could be reallocated for something else.
Right, but I'm saying it has to be done in this year.
No, it could be done later if you decide, yeah.
And if we didn't do this, and the oil tank is at its end of its life, and we have a problem with the underground oil tank leaching into the Yantic River, don't we have an obligation to protect our waterways? And why wouldn't we want to do that? And the Yantic Fire Department has been here for over 150 years.
78.
Okay, 170. And long after this chief or this member or that member is no longer this chief or that member, the Yantic Fire Department will still be there. And we need to protect their property and their building because they are housing $1 million worth of our city assets. So I will be voting in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further comment? Alderwoman Hayes, please.
Yeah, my second part of this is, so Alderman Betancourt brought up the fact that Yantic owns the building. The underground tanks are underground, so it's into the dirt, which could leak into the Yantic River. My question is, the Yantic Fire Department holds fundraisers. They raise money to have what is their skin in this game, since it is their property, their building. What are they putting into this? Comptroller? Are they putting any money into this?
No.
So it's all on the city for a property that we don't own. So that's like asking the city to invest in property that there is no direct benefit back to the city on the property. It's not the fire trucks, it's not the equipment. All of that is what's needed for the fire department. This is on property that is owned by a non-city entity. It's not a city entity, it's privately owned. And there's no skin in the game from the entity. The city is going to fork over all the money. And yet, we continue to let, and this is the problem with Dodge Stadium, we've continued to let that erode without putting money towards it to keep it upkept. And that is a city facility. I don't understand it. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Is there further comment, dare I ask? Alderman Bettencourt.
Just a question. When did this, Josh, when did this first get proposed and how long has this been pending?
So the project was originally in the 2023-24 budget at $45,000.
Okay. And, I mean, has Public Works assessed this at all? I mean, is this something that has to get done now, or, serious question?
I didn't bring any information with me on that.
All right. I mean, I'm not against the proposal per se, but I think Alderman DeLucia did bring up a certain situation that, obviously I'm kind of sensitive about too, considering that's impacted another agency too. And I'm uncomfortable supporting this under the current circumstances, unless it's absolutely necessary. If it's necessary, then do it. But if it's not, then don't. This is my, if you want to postpone, I would consider that to get a more, precise answer on that account.
Motion?
Is there further discussion? If you want to make a motion to postpone, you certainly have the authority to do that.
Rather than vote to reject it, I would rather make a motion to postpone until the next council meeting.
Is there a second? Second by Alderwoman Hayes. On the motion to postpone, is there discussion? Pro Tem?
I see no reason to postpone. I don't know what postponing gets us. This is a simple up or down question. Are we willing to give this particular department $25,000 at this point in time, given the circumstances? Yes or no? Enough of the obfuscation, enough of the, well, let's kick the can down the road and hopefully nobody will be paying attention after the election, which I don't think is your motivation, Mark.
Because I don't care.
Excuse me for addressing him directly, because we all know he's not running for re-election. I know that's not what this is about for you. I'm just saying there is no reason to postpone. We don't gain anything. If there were any reason to wait and see, it would be to see whether legal action is actually going to be taken up by this department against the city. But while that question is still pending, the answer isn't, well, let's wait. The answer should be no.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on the motion to postpone? Alderman Singh?
I just have a suggestion, because Mark wants to know if there is a dire need or not. We have Chief here, so maybe Chief knows. Chief Allen is here. I don't know if he has any information, if Josh don't. So.
Come on.
Bobby, please approach the microphone. Name, address, please, so we have a record.
Sure. Chief Bobby Allen, Yannick Fire Engine Company, 151 Yannick Road. The biggest thing is that tank is at end of life, and I don't know what the leeway is or anything as far as that goes. We're just going by what we were told by crop and all that stuff like that. So that's our biggest worry right now is, how long you delay it, if anything happens, where we go from there.
All right.
So.
And who evaluated tank is at the end of life?
It should have been, as far as I know, was crop out of Franklin.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Sure.
Chief, while you're there, the last time the Yannick flooded, the flood stage that was present on the Fireman's Field and its impact was water again inside the basement of the station?
Correct, because the water table is so high, it seeps in from underneath, correct?
And does that water table reach the tank?
I don't think it did this last time, but I know in '82 it did. Over on that side and everything like that, so you're right, there are flooding issues too. And again, we've already funded this project, the lines have come up from, NPU's the one who actually directed, and they were the people that we went through to get all this done. And we've worked with them on the conversion and stuff like that. So that's who we've worked with. It wasn't NPU, it was it was NPU, not Public Works.
Yep.
So, regardless, we still have a service to perform, so that's just,
You said the flood of '82. How long was the tank there prior to that?
I don't remember, it was a different situation then. I remember after that, this was a different setup after that, and I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you.
Well, either way, that's over 40 years. I mean, if we have an oil,
Oops, sorry, this is a new tank since then, that much I do know.
do you know when it was installed?
I had no. I remember it being installed, but when exactly, I don't know.
Well, tanks in our home are recommended that they be switched, what is it, every 25 years or less?
Pete, I don't know. Like I said, we went through crop, and they're the ones who told us that tank was at end of life. So that's what we based all this off of. And like Josh had said, I think Billy had originally put in the 75,000. It had got cut back to 40, and we didn't have enough. And Josh just thinking now was that money that we could reallocate over to here would get this whole project done instead of maybe just doing the conversion and leaving the tank or anything like that. So that's what we were going with, and I thought it was a good idea.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Alderwoman Hayes.
Leave, so let me ask you, do you have money in your coffers to pay for the additional cost?
Additional cost?
This $25,000 addition that you're asking for?
I don't really know. I can't really answer that at that time. I don't, again, we've gone through the city on all these capital
I
projects.
understand, I understand, I'm asking the question, do you have monies within your organization, this $25,000 that can pay for the addition?
I would say right now, no, we don't have money set aside to do that.
Didn't ask was it set aside, I asked, do you
No,
have
I'm not
it?
going to answer that. I'm going to tell you, we don't have that money
Okay.
set aside for this project. We've got other things that we paid for. We've had trees, Josh knows that. We've had, $6,000 to have a couple trees taken down. We pay for things as we go. And that's
Okay.
best I can tell you.
You said.
Yes, I'm good.
President Pro Tem, please.
Bobby, did your department vote recently to authorize up to $100,000 in legal fees if you had to take on the city
I'm not
over?
going to answer at that time. That was the private session of our meetings.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm not going to answer that. That was in a private portion of our meeting.
So it was discussed at your meeting?
What's that?
You said it was discussed at your meeting, but it's private?
Right.
Okay. Well, if he's not going to answer, he's not going to answer, Mayor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on the motion to postpone? Seeing none, roll call on the motion to postpone.
Mayor, I was going to withdraw the motion.
Oh,
I'll
my
second.
apology. Okay, the matter is withdrawn, the maker and the second. Then the resolution itself is before us. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, I waited. I will say a couple brief things. 178 years of service dedicated to the community, protecting life and property. If you're asking for what the return is, it's clearly there. Also, if you look at the flood stages of the Antic River, I sure as hell don't want to get her call, because I get memos from DEP every time there's an overflow of sewerage, including through the middle of the night. and we do have combined sewer outfall areas that still leak in heavy rains. I don't want to get a call because we have oil now in the Antic River, and we could have prevented that. There is a cost for protecting the environment, and this is peanuts when you think about that. If that oil tank were to rupture and get into the Antic River, that would be on us right now, because if we had a chance to remove it, I believe the test statements, it's at the end of its lifeful use. I've been aware of the need to replace, get that tank out of here for years, not just 2 or 3. I think it's a penny wise, pound foolish not to support this capital request. And frankly, the discussion that's been taking place tonight, I think it is disrespectful of the volunteer department in Yannick, and they don't deserve that. That's just my 2 cents. Alderwoman Gould.
Chief Allen, did Crop Environmental give you any indication if the tank is leaking?
They don't know right now, Stacy. It didn't sound like it at all.
Okay, so what's the possibility that tomorrow the tank starts leaking, and what could be the possible remediation cost if that oil is leaking into the soil?
That's way beyond my pay grade, Stacy. I don't know, but obviously it'd be
Bob, you need to, the microphone, please. Please start that answer over.
As far as the cost, Stacy, for that, I really wouldn't know. Obviously, I'd probably go with catastrophic, just because if the river gets involved, who knows? I don't know where it ends, to be honest.
So we're talking about reallocating money that you didn't need for the hydraulic tool
Correct. But
to
we were
immediately remediate this problem that could at any time turn into a catastrophe to the Antic River, and we're playing politics with it. Pretty sad. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further? Okay, roll call, please. No. No. Dennis, no. We're in the pendency of a vote. You don't work for the city. I appreciate you're willing to offer, but let's have the roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
What are we voting on here?
You're voting on whether to approve or not approve the resolution number 2, which would reallocate dollars already allocated to Yantic for capital needs and removal of the oil tank.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
No.
Alderman Bencourt?
No.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
No.
President Pro Tem DeLucia? No. Mayor Nystrom?
Yes, the resolution 2 is defeated. The vote is 3-4 against.
Number 3, relative to reallocating funds from capital projects for replacement of the emergency lighting and reflective material in Norwich Fire Department apparatus.
Roll call, I'm sorry, motion to bring it for purpose of a roll call. Is there such a motion? Alderwoman Hayes, is there a second? Alderman Nash, is there discussion?
So
Alderwoman Hayes.
mine is brief because I had a conversation also with you, Comptroller. So on this, that it was both the recommendation of the Norwich Public Works Fleet Maintenance and Norwich Fire Department that the reallocation of $3,000 to address the lighting situation. Could you just give us some background on that as well?
Maybe Chief Wilson would be better.
Wilson?
Wilson, Fire Chief, 10 North Ames Street. So the officer from Squad A approached me and asked if we had any money possible to allocate over to some of the glazed over, fogged up lighting, all of our emergency lighting. The truck is old. It's probably the best of the worst for us. and it's not effective in lighting up scenes or responding to emergencies anymore. I went down and looked at the truck myself. Again, to say it's the best of the worst is probably an understatement. The entire fleet for the city is in rapid decay, but I've come up with, the beginning plans of what I'm going to pitch to the Unified Command Committee about a apparatus reduction and replacement plan. And for me, inside of this, that would be one of the units that I'm going to be putting into ready reserve. So it kind of makes sense to put a little bit of money into this truck, replace the lighting so it's safe. The new Squad A isn't going to be in until next December. So we're still about a year out on that. So for about $3,000, we're upfitting the lighting, and I'm going to put, and this was my suggestion, some new reflective material to make it a little bit closer to the NFPA standard so that it's safe when we're parking at emergency scenes and responding to emergency incidents at nighttime, so it's actually reflective. So again, it will go into ready reserve, and then we'll have a kind of a trickle-down effect until that gets put out and sold also.
And this will be done by fleet maintenance?
Yes.
Here in the city? And you're planning on, I know you said it, I don't mean to repeat it, you're planning on this squad going into the reserve?
Correct.
So it will still be operational?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have at this point.
Thank you. Are there further questions? President Pro Tem, please.
Thank you. Chief, will this piece of apparatus, so you answered my first question. First thing I was going to ask you is how long before the new Squad A comes in? Thank you for that answer. So my only other question is, will the existing Squad A remain as an active piece in our fleet after the new Squad A comes in?
Yes, for how long, I really don't know. I really want to buckle down, and that's kind of, the city manager and I have already been starting, and Josh a little bit also, about what an apparatus reduction plan would look like. The next thing that we would do is we'd bring it to the Unified Command, and we'd talk about how we're going to move apparatus around the city, and then what are we going to come up for a replacement program, because that's why we're in this situation in the first place, is we're not adequately replacing apparatus across the board on a routinely basis. It seems like some departments are getting apparatus and they're flush with brand new equipment, and then you have other places that have trucks still in service from the 90s. So we need to do better, and we need to come up with a plan together, and that's what it would be. How long it's going to be here, I don't know. That's going to determine on how we replace apparatus going through. So that's going to be based on the plan that we put forth. So I'm going to guess it's probably still going to be here 2 to 3 years after the new Squad A comes.
So that I understand, so that this expenditure will continue to serve the city even once that new piece of apparatus comes in.
Absolutely.
So we're not spending money that some other agency is going to get the benefit of.
I'm expecting existing Squad A to be here for at least 2 to 3 years after the new Squad A comes in, at least 2 years.
Right.
Any major, apparatus failure that it's just not worth putting the money into, but, for small upfits like this, for the safety of our members, I think it makes sense.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Other members, questions? Chief, what is the final cost of Squad A replacement, since it's in the resolution?
The new Squad A?
Yeah.
I don't have that number offhand.
Josh, you familiar with that figure?
I can get that to you after the meeting.
I thought it was somewhere about $1.2 million initially. Is that somewhat accurate?
Yeah, it's in the ballpark.
And as I recall, when it was being debated and when other capital accounts were in fact cobbled up to come up with the cost for Squad A's replacement, we were told the old Squad A would be considered spare and would leave the fleet. Now we're hearing it's not leaving the fleet. You weren't here, by the way, Chief Wilson. That's not anything you were part of. But that's my memory. So I'm putting that on the record because we had a fire study that some people wanted us to take on. It said that we had too many apparatus. We already know Tafel got rid of one of their trucks, but no one else has followed suit other than a boat or two. running this number of trucks is a cost to the taxpayers, and it would be my hope that the initial word that was given would be kept, because it's not in the best interest of the taxpayers to run extra trucks. Thank you. Yes, I thought you might. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you. I'd just like to correct your statement on the record. We were not told that Squad A would leave. We were told that either Engine 3 or Engine 4, whatever was the worst piece at the time, would be taken out of service, and that Squad A would more than likely be a spare. All right, but even that amount of flexibility was left by former Chief Montoya, because it's a moving target. Because when it takes 2 years for a piece of apparatus to actually be delivered, you don't know what's going to break on the old, well, the existing apparatus that are in the firehouse at the time over the course of those 2 years. But Squad A it wasn't new Squad A is going to come in, old Squad A is going to go to the boneyard or to some other agency. That was never discussed. However, I believe that Chief Wilson has a plan for how that determination is going to be made, and as I understand, it involves the Superintendent of Fleet Maintenance having input literally for the first time in what pieces of apparatus the city keeps and which ones are disposed of. Is that accurate, Chief?
Yes. Mr. Raymond and I have been talking about that, and that's where I started with coming up with a proposal for Josh and the city manager, is taking a holistic and global approach of our entire fleet throughout the city of Norwich and seeing what we should be keeping, what's worth keeping, what's mechanically sound, what's not mechanically sound, what's ready to rot into the ground, and we have some of those also. So that's what we're going to be going, forward through closer to January, is how we're going to move apparatus around, and then we're going to make a proposal and then bring it to unified command.
And also to address the mayor's comment, because it is a fair point. One thing he said is a fair point. A new piece of apparatus will be coming into the city, and an old piece of apparatus will be leaving the city.
A lot of apparatus will be leaving the city.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Roll call, please.
Okay. Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt? Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0.
Number 4, relative to authorizing City Manager Solomon to enter into a termination and surrender agreement with Little People's Play Place 2 LLC in the city of Norwich.
A motion, please bring this to the floor. Alderman Gould, second Alderwoman Hayes. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call. Oh, please, I'm sorry.
Because there's, and I don't know, I know Mike came over and said something, there's an attachment.
Thank you. That wasn't,
I don't know if it has to be, part of the motion, or is it informational?
It's in the resolution of having an Exhibit A that was not submitted before, so
Okay,
you
so
want to
can we
incorporate it by suspending the rules.
I would think, since it is listed in reference, that simply attaching it to the resolution should be sufficient.
Okay, I just didn't know the proper,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yes, Alderman Bettencourt.
Should we amend the agenda to include?
You can add it to the, we vote to add this to the resolution, yes.
I would so motion.
Simply as an amendment, then.
Yeah.
Not suspension.
That's Exhibit A.
Add it to the,
Okay.
It's already referenced in the resolution.
right.
That's fine. Is there a second on the amendment? Alderman Singh. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call on the amendment.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. amendment is adopted and added to the resolution. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. Thank you. The resolution as amended is adopted 7-0.
Number 5, relative to seeking a tenant for the former Chelsea Groton Bank building located at 300 Main Street.
A motion, please bring to the floor. Alderwoman Gould, is there a second? Alderman Singh. Is there discussion?
Thank you. I have a challenge with this resolution, with the concept of this resolution. I mean, we heard some commentary tonight. There were two things that struck me. First of all, for those of you at home here in the gallery that advocate for citywide referendums, referenda before we make these kinds of decisions, I would say to you in reply that every time we do that, it's a $20,000 to $25,000 price tag to run an election, because that's what it is. So we hear a lot about keep the taxes down, stop spending money, and now you want us to do special referendum for every decision that essentially we've been charged and are authorized to make according to the charter. So you can't have it both ways. But with regard to this particular resolution and this building, we sat here, this group, and said, we are going to spend $800,000, which was under our authority, to buy Chelsea Groton with the intention of turning it into the new police station if the voters at referendum decide to spend the cost of turning it into the new police station. And we said that if that were to fail, then most likely we would sell the building, okay? I said that, I spoke out in favor of that. Alderman Nash spoke out very vehemently in favor of that. We made one decision since then, and that decision was to be sensitive to the taxpayers, because we already have $385 million out there for our school buildings, not to ask for another $50 to $51 million for a police station. All right, back to back, essentially, why we got one going on, not to ask for the other. Because even if it were approved, it was too much of a burden. You said so, we heard you, we said so, because we agreed, okay? And we put it off for 1 year. That means that at this time next year, the referendum on the police station should be before the community, right? And that's the plan that we should stick to. I am not in favor of finding a tenant for a 1-year lease. We bought this building. We understood when we bought this building that we were going to have to maintain it, that we were going to have to keep up with the utilities and do whatever we needed to do to keep it from falling into disrepair between the time we purchased it and the referendum for turning it into a police station. Right? Nowhere in that discussion was, we'll find a temporary tenant. I know that that's attractive, right, to certain members of staff, no offense, okay, because it helps offset utility costs, and that makes perfect sense to me. But I'm weighing what's going to be the hassle of dealing with a tenant. What is going to be the hassle of removing that tenant, okay, if the voters, you, say, go build a police station? To me, it's not worth it. And I know I'm speaking loud, it's because it's more because I'm tired than anything else, okay? But I'm not angry, I'm not upset, I'm not even annoyed. I'm just at the point where we said we were gonna do something, now we need to do it, okay? And we said that, again, I hate to repeat myself, but we said that we were gonna buy this building, that we were gonna put it out there to become a police station, or we were gonna dump it. Well, why change course now? Okay, stay where we're at, okay? And yes, we're gonna have to take it on the chin for the utilities until we get a yes or no from you, whether it's gonna be the next Norwich Police Department or not, okay? So that's where I am. So I'm I know that this is well-intended, but I can't support it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Alderman Bettencourt.
Respectfully, with the pro tem, I'm going to disagree a little bit. And just in the, I think your facts were fine, but I'm thinking in the present here, and the fact of the matter is we have this building, and it would be better off occupied rather than unoccupied, even for a, even for a short time. Could be complications in doing that, yeah, but I would like the city to gain some revenue and have some offset while this is all going on. And I think that can happen without too many headaches. So I will support the resolution.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Alderwoman Hayes.
So, and I am not trying to bring up the vote that happened almost a year ago, since I did not support the purchase of it. And this particular proposed lease does cause a quandary for me, in the fact that I had hoped that there would be utilization by, since we keep hearing that the police department doesn't have room, and the police department, the reason we need to build, or the reason why this building was purchased, was because we don't have enough room over at the police department, that some of those services, some of those operations at the police department would have been moved over to this facility. So I don't understand really why we're leasing it, since there was this need to have to purchase the building to say we need a new police station because we don't have enough space in the current police station. Why not move some of those operations over to free up some of the overcrowding space, give the female officers actual rooms that they can change in, office spaces? Why not address the overcrowding issue, since the goal was, and the justification was, to purchase this with the hopes that the voters would vote on it to make it the police station? That's the conflict I have on this.
That it?
That's it.
Is there further discussion? Alderwoman Gould.
So I think we could have a win-win here. If we get the police station to occupy some of the space, in the meantime, search for a tenant who may only be interested in part of the space of the bank to help offset some of the costs that the city's going to incur for utilities, insurance, et cetera. It could be a win-win. If we put the police station or some office space or something that the police station uses to reduce the overcrowding at the police station, search for a tenant, and if the voters decide in November of 2026 that they are going to approve allocating money for a new police station, we're not going to be renovating the new police station on November 6th. It will take time to get those plans in place. We could have the tenant move out. They'll have to understand that this is a short-term lease. It could be a win-win for the city, and still ultimately end up possibly, if the voters decide that they want it to be a police station, make it a police station. If the voters decide that they don't want to have it as a police station, we have a tenant in there, and we look to sell the building. Doesn't hurt us to go out and look for a short-term tenant. It doesn't hurt the city at all to go see if there's someone who's interested in leasing any of the space. So I will be supporting this resolution number 5.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Alderman Nash.
The questions, I have a couple. I mean, I agree quite a bit with Alderman DeLucia and Ms. Hayes. The question I have is this short-term occupancy, what does that mean? When does that start? When does that end? How much they paying? What's going to be the individual or the group going in there? If it's something that we can use with policing, put some policing in there, maybe a substation at the time, and get some community occupant, where people can go in and do some community meetings and stuff like that with the neighborhoods. But is this going to be, whoever's going in there, if we find someone, is this going to one that's going to accent the police department's function or prevent or directly go against police? This just says we're going to go find an occupant, and short term, it doesn't say when it's going to start, when they're going to end, who's responsible if there's damage done during the time that this temporary occupant is involved. And I mean, I don't know commercial versus residential, but, you know, I've had many conversations with Mr. Bowie on how many months it takes to get an occupant out of a resident after they've stopped paying rent. So I'm a little concerned about this. At this point, the way this is all written up and stuff like that, I really have a hard time supporting this in any way. There's just too many questions that I have that aren't answered here. That's it.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Alderman Singh.
So I do see both the points. I think the issue I have with the resolution is that if we vote yes on it, then there's no way we can weigh in who's coming in, what's going on. And we, you know, because we are giving authorization to city manager to then execute on our behalf. I think it should be tabled, or we can make amendment that the condition should be satisfactory to city manager as well as city council. Like, I don't mind. RFP can go out, we can, you know, list it, see how much rent we can get, who is the one party who's interested, what should be the conditions.
You're asking through amendment, I believe, that the final choice would still come back to final council
Yes.
approval?
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, I thought that's where you
What do
were
you think?
going. That would have to follow in the last paragraph, following the conditions as are satisfactory to City Manager John Salomon, and with final approval of the city council. Is that your pleasure? Is that about what you're looking for?
Like, yeah, I want to explore, you know, by listing it, what can we get out of it? And I think that's a good exercise overall. Just in case the referendum don't go through, then we know, you know, what is the realistic approach that we should have for this particular property, which we already own now. I want to keep my options open.
Thank you. So you're accepting that as a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second? Alderman Betancourt, second. The amendment would in fact place the city council with the final choice of the lease. That's the way I look at it. Anyone disagree? Pro Tem, I'm sorry, our corporate comptroller would like to comment.
So if you might be able to accomplish that if someone makes a motion to just strike the final paragraph. Then it would.
That would do it. Corporate counsel, you agree?
I think that if you get into the second resolved,
Could I make a suggestion?
Wait.
Time. The question's been posed to strike the last paragraph, leaving it resolved by the council itself. So he'd have to come back to us for final approval. That's what I'm interpreting, but it's up to the body.
May I make a suggestion?
Well, Michael's got
Wait a minute, we're waiting
Please.
for the city council.
Or Mike, did we
Corporation
say
council.
I'm sorry. It would seem to me that you would just amend the second paragraph and be it further resolved by the Council of Norwich that upon receipt of a lease proposal from the prospective tenant containing the proposed rental payments and terms and conditions be submitted to the city council for approval.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah. I was just going to suggest adding pending approval of the city council to the end of the second paragraph.
That's
Yeah,
something
same.
like that.
Accomplish the same thing, yeah.
The maker and second, they agree that that's their intent, so it's clear?
Yes.
Buck stops here at the end. Okay, any further discussion on the offered amendment? Pro Tem?
So, I really don't like it when we craft language on the floor of the council. If this resolution needs this much work to change the intent from hiring a commercial real estate broker to bring potential clients to the city manager, to going out to RFP, which means that staff is going to have to evaluate RFPs. Those are two totally different processes, and we should not be slicing and dicing that up here on the floor of the council. This needs to be postponed, or even really held over to the next council in December, well, call it January, but, right, or taken up at the second meeting in November. Because like I said, I really have a distaste for when we do this, and I see the president or chairman of NCDC scratching his head like, what are you guys doing up here, right? You know, so, and that always worries me because Kevin's, on the ball, right? So, so, I mean, I know we have a motion, I'm speaking during discussion on a motion that is already on the floor, but I'm going to say that I am not liking where we are with this right now.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on the amendment that has been offered?
I just want to.
Pro Tem, you're all set. Singh, you're up.
I just don't know if Kevin Brown want to share anything at this point, or I think you were trying to say something.
I'll just tell you, Kevin Brown, 66 Franklin Street, Norwich Community Development Corporation. I'll just tell you that as soon as it looked like this resolution might come before the council, I informally tried to conduct some walkthroughs of the building to see what the realities are of a tenant coming in. And the first thing that was very obvious is the time and investment that it's going to take to set the space for a tenant is going to eat into the time available before this referendum and might be cost prohibitive. It's a bank. It's a bank. And depending upon what that potential or prospective tenant might be and want to do, it's going to require a pretty significant investment to use that magnificent bank space in a way that is in fact magnificent and not just setting up a few sewing machines in the front for teaching classes to people that want to become tailors, as an example of one of the folks that wandered through the building. So I'm just trying to share with you that I do have just one or two anecdotal experiences in the last 2 weeks that seem to indicate that finding a legit, solid tenant for a short term is going to be a difficult task. That's what I wanted to share. And I would just reinforce Alderman DeLucia's point, the President Pro Tem's point, that I'm unclear whether we're RFPing or just simply going to market to see if tenancy is possible. Sorry to talk in a circle, but leaving the door open to investigate tenancy can't be a bad thing, because we'll learn what might be in the art of the possible if that's all we're doing. But I don't know the science of the referendum next November and when you have to lock in and dial that down. And if you take that from both ends and bring it to the middle, it says trying to find a short-term tenant is probably a very difficult thing to do.
Thank you. The further discussion on the amendment before Alderman Bettencourt.
Well, I will say, though, that as far as, I think the decision should come back here, but also that, and I mean, my own experience, if you are going to create a space and put funds into a building like that, or any building for that matter, from my own business, I can tell you, that you need a longer-term lease in order to make it realistic. You know, you're not going to get a short-term lease for somebody that can't just utilize that space, you know, pretty much the way it is. So if you're going to have to put significant amounts of money in it, you're going to have a lease that would make a rate of return worthwhile, so.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on the amendment? If not, roll call on the amendment.
Yeah. Could you just read the amendment? I'm sorry,
Well, a couple things went through, but the bottom line is that you want final council approval before this
Okay,
is done.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I understood what the amendment was.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're taking off the last paragraph or we're just going to add that verbiage into the last paragraph, so, but that's the ultimate goal.
So it is the amendment was to keep the last paragraph and add on this amendment pending approval of the city council, somewhere's in there. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
That's correct. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
No.
Alderwoman Hayes?
On the amendment, yes.
Alderman Bencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
No.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. The amendment passes 5-2. On the resolution as amended, is there further discussion? Seeing none, I'll just simply add that I truly believe John's interest was simply in recovering operational costs through the winter so that the taxpayers did not incur that debt. That's all this was really intended to do. If there's no further discussion on the resolution as amended, roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
No.
Alderwoman Hayes?
No.
Alderman Bencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
No.
Yes. Resolution as amended is adopted 4-3.
Number 6, relative to authorizing and directing City Manager Salamone to enter into and execute a Fourth Amendment to the stadium lease agreement.
Motion to bring to the floor, please. Alderwoman Gould, second Alderman Nash. Discussion, Alderwoman Gould.
Finally, some good news. Or at least some positive news, that we have come up with a new lease agreement, at least for one more year, possibly longer. We want to thank Kevin Brown and the city manager and the mayor and Mr. Prentice and the front office staff of the Sea Unicorns for making this happen, because we love baseball here in Norwich. So I will be supporting resolution number 6. This is a win for us and for them. And congratulations again on 3 consecutive winning years.
I think we need an amendment to this before.
Alderwoman Hayes, please.
I was going
Motion
to
to
ask
make.
for, well, do we have a first? Yeah, okay. Make a motion to amend. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9th, whereas, if after Anita Athletic Corporation and Anita Tigers, so take out Norwich and put in Anita Tigers LLC.
It'll be twice then, right?
Yes.
You mean Oneonta?
Spots, yes. And then go down, no, then the next one, it stays the Norwich, from Oneida Tigers to the Norwich Athletic LLC, that merged. Unless I misunderstood you,
No,
Corporation
the
Council.
2 changes should occur in the one section,
Okay, right.
and the rest of it's all right.
Is there a second? Alderman Nash.
And just, I was just,
Alderwoman Hayes.
I was going to ask, did the amendment need any further discussion? Because I don't have the original in front of me. Did we have the numbers in the amounts in the original? What's on the second page? The rent to be paid, was that all included in the original posting?
Yes, it is, and the attachment is the Fourth Amendment to the stadium lease agreement that sets out the details.
It was,
Is it on the original resolution?
yes, was it on the original resolution? Okay. I'm good. I'm good with just the motion to amend that I made.
Thank you. There was a motion and a second. Is there further discussion on the amendment at this time? Not roll call.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes, motion to amend passes 7-0. On the resolution as amended, Alderman Nash, I see your hand.
Yeah, I too am very excited that baseball is going to return next season. However, I am very concerned about the overhead costs. I know we're somewhere in the hole around, $350,000 it's costing us to run the stadium. I know there's lots of items that need to be fixed, replaced, repaired, upgraded, increased, improved, whatever you want to call it. And I just don't believe that as much as I'm a sports advocate and I follow local sports as well as professionals, I have coached championship programs and I know what it feels like to have a championship team and no place to play. So, well, thank you, I appreciate that. So what I'm hoping is that we don't quit trying to find a private partnership to help us with the costs of the stadium and try to improve our ability to finance it, that's all. I'm in favor of this, and I'm happy it's back. I'm hoping that we'll find somebody that can help support it.
Thank you, Alderman Bettencourt.
I don't want to say I'm going to hold my nose and support this, but that's kind of somewhere, because I don't believe we should be, supporting the business of, the unicorns. So, and we've been doing that for several years now. But at the same time, I also believe that to walk away from this would cause us some problems with the stadium and would make it difficult to do something with it later on. So it makes sense to keep somebody here using the stadium, making it a viable operation. And I'm going to agree with Alderman Nash that I'm hopeful that we're going to be looking for other opportunities as we go along.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Alderman Singh.
Thank you. So, again, I think that's the only affordable thing people of Norwich have, that spend $10 and enjoy the game. So I'm very happy that game must go on. I have always said that. But we are close to not losing money with this new lease. Game will go on. It will not be misused or abandoned. And even though during budget discussions when some of the people said sell it, I never said that because I think it does have a lot of potential. How to reach that potential will need a lot of advocacy though. But I also want to highlight, if 5,500 people are going to Dodge Stadium, we're not getting business in downtown to that level. So I hope a lot of money that we have now agreed to pump into the stadium, some of that money could be used to highlight, maybe with the sign, welcome to City of Norwich, and what are the things to do in the City of Norwich. So when people go to support the game, they can also know what potential and what other gems we have in our city. So it can contribute more towards the economy of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes? Alderman Bettencourt? Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. Thank you. The resolution as amended is adopted 7-0.
Number 7, relative to city manager being authorized and directed to enter into a purchase and sales agreement for 149 Broadway.
Motion, please, to bring to the floor. Alderwoman Gould, second, please. Alderwoman Hayes. Is there discussion? I'm sorry?
Is the price on
Yeah. Alderwoman Singh, please.
Just want to offer the amendment that we have to highlight this in the second, whereas we need to add $12,500, which is the sale price. And then again, in the last paragraph as well, we have to add the price, 12,500, and name of the investment group, Lorette. And then again, we have to add the name of the investment group. So this paper right here, we want to make sure we highlight all those things in the resolution. So that's my amendment, and I'm making that motion to amend.
Second, please. Alderwoman Gould. Is there discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes? Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 7 is adopted 7-0. Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just, I have a question that I wonder if we need to take up. I believe the question was asked, and I don't know if it made it all the way to the clerk's office or to your office, about the council meeting on Monday the 3rd. What is scheduled to be our next meeting is the night before Election Day.
In the past, I can tell you, 12 years sitting here, over the course of 16, there have been years when it was canceled, there have been years when it was not.
Right.
That's left to the body to choose.
Do we need a motion to, I mean, we'd actually have to suspend the rules in order to take that up?
You would need a motion to cancel the meeting if you're going to do that. I think you can make the motion on the floor. I don't think you need to suspend the rules to do it.
It as a business item, it's just a motion from the
Just a
floor.
motion to decide that you're going to not have the meeting on the 3rd if you choose not to.
Well,
Not to supplant you, but
I don't see any different than the motion to adjourn in this case, but
Mr.
Alderman
Mayor.
Singh, you have your hand up.
Actually, we were on resolution number 7. We voted on the amendment, but we never voted on the resolution 7. So I think we should finish that first.
fair point.
No,
Glad you're paying attention.
on the motion as amended, is there,
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes?
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
yes, the resolution is adopted as amended. I swear I said that already. I thought we did that.
Put it on the amendment, now we passed the resolution.
I didn't, that wasn't intentional. I
But
just
no, it's fine.
wanted to beat the buzzer on the adjournment.
Is there a motion to adjourn or
Motion to
otherwise?
adjourn.
No, hold on.
No, do you want a
Yeah.
motion to,
Well, the motion hasn't been made, so I'm just going on what we normally ask for is a motion to adjourn.
Well, Joe had the floor, so.
Oh.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we cancel our meeting scheduled for November the 3rd, 2025.
Is there a second? Alderwoman Hayes. I think this is debatable.
It's a motion.
I mean, it's debatable. Is there comment on the motion to not hold the meeting? Alderman Singh.
Just want to see, I don't know if Josh know or anybody knows if there is something dire need of council to be meeting that we are forgetting? Or is it okay not to meet? Well, we can always do this special meeting if there's an emergency situation, but.
I can't think of anything.
All right, thank you.
Is there further question or discussion at this time on the motion to not hold the first meeting in November? Seeing that, roll call.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes.
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt.
Yes.
No, we have city business to do, we need to get it done.
Yes, we can meet with the special meeting if needed.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Maestro.
No. The motion is passed 5-2. The meeting on November 3rd is canceled.
To adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Bettencourt, second by Nash. Roll call.
Alderman Nash.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hayes.
Yes.
Alderman Bettencourt.
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould.
Yes.
Alderman Singh.
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom.
Yes. Motion to adjourn passes 7-0. We are adjourned.